Books are not dying because people are still reading. We're in Bridgeport National Bindery in Agawam, Massachusetts. I've been here for a long time, and what we do is we produce books on demand. The company was started in 1947, and it has been in several different locations, Bridgeport, Connecticut, and now up in Agawam, Massachusetts. No, it's more than a bindery. The name says bindery, but for the last 20 plus years, we've been involved in printing and binding books down to a quantity of one, up to a quantity of several thousand. Well, we started printing in 2003 with some Xerox Docutechs, and then we moved into color printing a couple of years later, started doing larger amounts of books. Right now we do anywhere from 4,000 or 5,000 a day in the slow times to 20,000 a day in the more busy times. And most of the work, 80% of our orders, are for one book. We do both soft and hardcover books.
One thing about Bridgeport National Bindery is they're always looking at ways to automate, to be more efficient, help reduce their costs. And one thing that I've learned over the years with Bridgeport National Bindery, we take a consultative approach to our sales process. And when you come into Bridgeport National Bindery, I always leave learning something new. I may have a new product that I introduce, and they could take a look at it and find a whole nother way to utilize it.
Start it up.
It's very difficult because everything needs to be changed over, and changeovers take time. So it's really about how fast you can change over to a different size book is what really is the key to production.
I don't know about difficult, you just have to think about things differently. In other words, people say, well, you've got an order for one book. I don't look at it that way. I have an order for thousands of books that have this characteristic. I have 1,000 books that are cream paper 6x9. I have 1,000 books of cream paper that are 8.5 by 11. They might have different titles, they might have different page counts, but the characteristics of the books are the same. So we're doing actually runs of books that have the same characteristics, but they happen to be shipped out individually. It's a huge amount because what you're able to do with technology is to eliminate the sorting and handling that you would have to handle, that you would have to deal with as far as a book of one is concerned. There's a huge difference between the steps involved in taking one book from start to the end or taking 1,000 books from start to the end with all the same characteristics. You get multiple benefits. It was an interesting exercise at the beginning in particular, but we were doing library binding before we were doing print-on-demand binding. Library binding, by definition, is books of one. So it's something that I grew up with many years ago, and so it's just a different application of the same technologies. For two things. First of all, you form relationships with people, which are always important. It makes no difference if they're competitors or not. The people are important. The ideas that you can get from people are important. I learn more from having people visit than any other way. They come, they ask questions, and when they ask questions, they tell me a lot about what we're doing, what they're doing, and how can I make it better here.
Start it up.
With Standard Finishing, we have a very good relationship. They have helped us to choose the correct technology. They listen to us when we ask questions. When we want to make a different use of their technology, they help us to figure out, can we do it or can we not do it? Hunkeler has come in just about a year ago, and it has fulfilled what we expected it to be able to do. It's given us a much smoother operation at the end, the finishing of rolls of paper that are coming from our inkjet presses.
We have a great relationship with Bridgeport National Bindery and all the management and employees. They've invested in a fair amount of our equipment, both with the Hunkeler and Horizon products. They've just been a super partner for us.
What it has done is it gives us, from the start to the finish, higher speed. It gives us quality books coming off the end, and the books come out in a book block that we're able to handle and move more easily into our other processes.
The technology is always changing to make it more automated, faster setups, faster changeovers.
Yes, very, very profitable, because it multiplies the use of our labor, multiplies the use of our space, and makes it very efficient in the way that it delivers books. No, we have been extremely busy right now, and books are not dying because people are still reading. And I think that led to some decisions that have been made in the ecosystem around books that have made it so that they appear to be dying, or appeared for a while to be dying. But if you look at the statistics, I think that you'll see that they're not going away.